Bonjour mesdames et messieurs, in this episode I'm going to talk to you about how to make a Cinemagraph. Bonjour mesdames et messieurs, my name is Serge Remely. I am a French photographer living in the most beautiful romantic city in the world, Paris. And I make 1 to 2 tutorials per week. Click here if you want to get the raw file of this episode and all the past episodes. We're talking hundreds of raw files, free presets, tutorial, just one click away. Or click here if you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I want to talk to you about how to make Cinemagraph. Cinemagraph is a really cool effect where you have basically a photo, and part of the photo there is some motion in it. And this gets done in Photoshop. So let me show you how we do this. Alright, so here I am in Photoshop. I have opened a video that I took of the the fountains in Las Vegas in the Bellagio Hotel. It's a beautiful show. And so when you open a video in Photoshop, just a few things, you need to have what we call the timeline open. The best thing to do is to go to Windows, Workspace, and go to Motion. By opening Motion, you will have the timeline, and the main window is going to redimension itself so that you have some space for the timeline, okay? So let me play and show you the video. I just want to show you something here. If you click on the cogwheel, you have I put the resolution at 50%. This is a full HD video. And loop playback so that it loops over and over again. Let me play it for you. So I actually prepared that video with Adobe Premiere. I just imported it into Premiere, did some color correction, and exported it out 2 seconds. So for this to work, I advise you to work with clips which is not more than 2 seconds, where you have a lot of motions going on, and you are on a tripod. That's very important. You got to be on a tripod so that you don't have any camera movement, but there's got to be motion, exactly like this is, right? So, and the reason why 2 seconds is good is because you don't want to have too big of a file at the end, because we're going to do a GIF that you're going to put on Facebook, on your website, anywhere. And for that, you need it to be light so that people load up very fast. Okay, so that's the basic idea. Now, the first thing we need to do to be able to loop this video is we need to I need to blend the end with the beginning. So for that, what I mean by that is when it comes to the end, you see, you see how it comes to the end, and the show is completely over, and then it starts again. I want to loop it so that it doesn't look. I mean, on this video, it actually works pretty well, but I want to blend more the end with the beginning and to make a nice loop. And that's the principle of an animated GIF. So for that, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click here and bring this a bit forward, just a little bit, so that we have a few seconds to blend in the end and the beginnings. That's very important to do that. When you're going to drag the in point, it's going to resize the video. And now what it did is that it resized the video, but now I have a bit of data here that's hidden there, and you will understand in 1 second. Okay, so that's the clip. Here on my layers, the clip is called Video Group 1. What I'm going to do is press Command J, and it's going to duplicate that group. So now we have 2 times the same video. If I play, nothing changes. We still have the same principle. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the first video and I'm going to drag it till the end. So now the end of this video, right after, is the beginning of the video, right? Because I just dragged this. But now, remember, I put an in point inside. So now I have some space. I can drag this back. Let me see if I can drag it more. Okay. So now we have the end and the beginning mixed up, okay? And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag back the end here, and I'm going to loop this. So now the end becomes the beginning. So already it gives a better loop effect. And to make this even better, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the beginning here on this little clip, and I'm going to open the video group, and I'm going to go to opacity, which is here, and click here on the little clock, and that's going to create a keyframe. The keyframe says that here the opacity is at 100%. Now what I want is the opposite. I want here the opacity to be at 0%. So that little part of a clip is going to be at 0%, but here when it comes to the end, I want it to be at 100%. So now there is 2 keyframes. One, and look at the opacity here. You can look here in the opacity. Here it's at 0%, and as I move to the right, the opacity is going to increase, and the end is going to basically blend with the beginning, and it's going to make a better loop effect. On this video, because it's waterfall, it kind of doesn't really matter, but on other videos, it's going to make a big difference. So let me show you the clip now with this. You see, it kind of loops a little bit better forever. Okay, so now we have done that, and we are ready to do the Cinemagraph effect, which is make one part still visible. So what I want to do is I want to go to a point on the video where the fountain is very high, like the highest, something like this probably. And I want to freeze everything except what's in front of the Eiffel Tower and behind the Eiffel Tower. So for this, I'm going to click on this first layer, and I'm going to press an incredible shortcut, which is Command Alt Shift E. What Command Alt Shift E does is that it creates a picture. It takes that picture and puts it here on top. But you see, it's in the same video group than video group 1. So, but I want the photo to be above. So what I have to do is here in the layer, I have to drag it above here. Boom. And now I can drag and drop this over and make it the size of my video. And if I play, now you just have one still. Like nothing moves anymore because it's just that one photo. So what we want to do now is we're going to play with a mask to get just a part of the photo moving. So I'm going to create here a white mask, and I'm going to take a brush, make sure the hardness is at 0%. Okay, and black is the foreground color, opacity 100%, and I'm just going to brush here around the Eiffel Tower. Let's see how that is, just this part here. Okay, now I'm going to play. And you see how just the Eiffel Tower part is active and the rest is inactive. Actually, I want to go more. I think I'm going to paint here. I like the water, that the water doesn't move. It kind of looks weird. You know, the whole idea is to have a contrast between motion and no motion. So look at my mask. My mask, you see, by pressing Alt on a mask, you can see what the mask is black here. Black reveals, white conceals. So click Alt again. So it only reveals this part. So let me play this again. And boom. We only have this part. So it's a nice Cinemagraph. I really like the effect. If you want, if I want to make it smaller, I can reverse. I can press X for white in the foreground, and I can brush here. And I'm going to freeze this part. I can play again. You just do what you want. And not only this part is kind of freezing. And to make it even stranger, I could maybe bring this back to life so that some part of the thing is frozen in the air. Oh, sorry. White. Yeah, I want, sorry, black. Black. I want to see, maybe that's going to be weird. Let's, just play around and find something that you like. Yeah, it's kind of weird. I think I like more the idea. Okay, white reveals. So I want all this to be revealed. Let's see. Yeah, and it reveals the photo. Okay, black again. Anyway, something like that. Voila. I think this is what I'm going to do. So the whole fountain in front of the Eiffel Tower is moving, and the rest of the photo is not moving. That's the effect I was going for. Okay, so now you're ready to do your animated GIF. For this, you have to go to File, Export, and if you have Lightroom CC, it's going to be in Save for Web Legacy. If you have CS5 or CS6, it's just export for the web. Once you're in here, now a little trick is, usually when you want to do animated GIF, it goes, for Facebook, it does not need to be like full HD, okay? And because I would advise you to not go over 3 mega as a size. Right now, I'm at 10, almost 11 mega, which is too much. So usually the first thing that I do is I go to the size and I put in even 40%. 40% is fine. It's gonna resize from 1920 1080p, which is full HD, to 768 432. Now, whenever you do something, it is going to take a while to be done, okay, because it has to recalculate the whole thing. And already I went from 11 megs to 2 megs, okay? Just make sure color is 256. Make sure that lousy is around 15. That's usually a good value. and then transparency is on. I find that transparency, if I take it off, you see it goes to 3.7. If I put it back on, it goes to 2.1. Okay, and then make sure looping action you put in forever. Okay, and you can click here on preview, and that's going to open up a browser, your default browser, and just going to play the video. And that's what people is going to see on Facebook. Okay, if you like this kind of settings, you can also go here in the presets and save settings, and let's call this, I'm going to call this GIF Cinemagraph settings. Okay, so that next time I can just use the Cinemagraph setting, and I'm going to save it, which I've already done. So that's the first Cinemagraph. Now we're going to do a second Cinemagraph, which is a bit more complex, and I'm going to give you actually this Las Vegas video. I'm going to give it for free as a raw file, so you can play around with it, if you don't have anything. But make sure when you shoot on a tripod, something that has movement. Let me show you another example, which I find is really cool. And this is this video. That's the original clip. So that's my friend Arthur Chouanet, an amazing actor in France. And he's like holding a smoke machine, a smoke baton, I don't know how you call that. And the problem of this video is that the first image is black, and then you have the video. Okay, and so this was shot by Alan Parker. Now let me talk to you about Alan Parker. Alan Parker is a specialist in Cinemagraph. He lives in Paris, and so if you have a company and you want to have some nice, cool Cinemagraph, you can check his website, which is ilianparker.com. It will be in the descriptive of this video. He's got a whole bunch of Cinemagraph, and he inspired me to do this episode. And he even gave me, I'm not giving you these files, but he gave me these files to play around with, because what he did is pretty clever. He told his friend Arthur to hold a smoke machine, and then he shot a photo of it, a very high resolution photo. So, and we're going to mix both to make a Cinemagraph. The first thing that I want to do is that this video is, if I go to image size, you see it's at 1080p, which is the, basically the size of a full HD video. This, however, is a JPEG. So if I go to image size, it says 5416 by 3038, which is not good. So I'm going to take the crop tool, and I'm going to put in 1920 pixel by 1080p pixel, so that I have a cropping that's exactly how I want it. Okay? So now this image, if I go to image size, this one is also 1920 by 1080p, which is full HD. I'm going to take my move tool, drag and drop this image over the video, and press shift before I drop it. So it's going to drop exactly on top of it. Okay, now remember it's in video group 1, so I'm going to drag and drop it out of video group 1 and on top of it, so that I can have the video here, the photo here. So right now, if I play back, it's just going to see the photo, so there's no change. Okay, I don't want that. So I'm going to turn off the visibility of that layer. Now check it out. If I put the visibility on and off, you can see it's not aligned exactly. So that's very important to be aligned. So I'm going to take that layer, which is the photo, and that layer, which is the video, and I'm going to go to Edit, Auto Align Layers, and I'm just going to take the first option, the auto option. Okay, and as a result, now if I click, you can see that it's much more aligned. Now we have a little crop factor to do, but we'll do that afterwards. Okay, so now the videos are aligned. I'm going to take the visibility off of this video, and I'm going to do the same trick. I'm going to bring in a little bit the beginning. Voila. Okay, then I'm going to duplicate the video group 1, Command J, or you can drag and drop here on new, and it's going to do the same thing. So now we have the two videos on top. I'm going to bring the second video at the end, remember? And because we added a little beginning here, boom, we have some data here. Oh, make sure you don't include the black frame. No black frame, it's going to look weird. Okay, let me close this. Let me close this to make sure that the JPEG is the length of the video. Okay, I'm going to play this back to see how it goes. Now already it's looking way better. Now same thing, I need to blend the beginning because we have a sort of a jump that I don't want. So Remember the trick, you go at the first frame of that little end video, you open this up, you press opacity for keyframe. So right now I want this to be at 0 opacity. Okay, and then right away by the end, it gets to the end of the video, I want this to be at 100 opacity. So it's just going to blend both clips. And now let me play this, and we should get less of a jump effect. You see, almost no jump effect on this one. Okay, perfect. Now we are ready to do we are ready to blend with the original photo, and I think it was clever from Elan to do that, because having a photo in the foreground, you get a much better quality. So I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna create a group, a mask, okay, and take my brush, big brush, and I want to hide this part here, the part with the smoke, just the part with the smoke here. Okay, maybe not this part. Maybe let me make my brush smaller. This part now. Yeah, this, yes. This no. Okay, let's play and see how that goes. And the whole idea is we just have the smoke going and the rest doesn't move. Okay, and let's crop the overall video. I'm gonna crop the overall video here. Now I can clear this. I don't care that the video is 920 by 1080p. I don't really care for that. You know, a GIF can be whatever size you want. I mean, unless you really want it to be in full HD. But I want to keep his copyright. I think, well, no, I don't want to crop it too much because I don't want to lose the smoke effect. But yeah, when I auto-align the images, I got this little issue here. Okay, let me place this back. And good. We're good to go. We're good to go. I can add some more. I can click here, take a brush, maybe get the smoke coming down a bit lower here. Okay, let's paste this again. Yeah, I like that. It's a really good quality. So we have the quality of photo mixed up with video. It's pretty clever from Mr. Alan Parker. Check him out. He's really cool. All right. So, oh, I did something weird here on the arms. So X for white, and I'm just gonna brush here. Yeah, make sure you don't want to touch that. Voila. Perfect. Yeah, it looks even more weird to have like the beginning of the smoke not moving. Interesting effect. Now maybe not here. Okay, X, but just a little bit here. I think I like that. I like the whole idea that the stick is not moving. I think it's kind of cool. Okay, now we're ready to export. So File, Export, Save for the web. And now we have the Cinemagraph preset that we created. So we should be almost good to go. It's going to load. And okay, it did 100%, so I'm going to put it at 40% because I don't want it to be so big. Voila. And so you can preview it, but this time I'm going to save it and I'm going to show you the final result. So I'm just going to click Save. And I already have one here. I'm going to replace it again. Go to the Finder. Voila. Oops, go to the Finder. And this is what it looks like. So we did this one, and we did the Las Vegas. No, not this one. This one, sorry. Yeah, we did this one. Voila. So I hope you find this fun. Doing Cinemagraph is really fun. It's a cool way to promote your work, or make jokes or whatever. It's a little cool technique, and it's a good training to use in Photoshop. I hope this explanation was clear, and I will see you in another free tutorial, mesdames et messieurs.